On the 18th of March 2025, President Bola Tinubu made a passionate address to the nation, announcing the suspension of democratically elected governor of Rivers State as well as the state's House of Assembly members. The decision marshaled heavy opposition from well-meaning Nigerians and the opposition party. My next guest, Yusuf Shuaib Muhammad, and myself will look at the implications of such a suspension for Nigeria's oil industry and economic stability in the region in particular and Nigeria as a whole. Welcome, sir.
Yeah, thank you very much.
So it's very, very interesting development this week. It has, in fact, dominated Nigeria's media landscape.
Exactly.
What can you say about the situation first and foremost? But here is the more important question. Famously, Rivers State, of course, is known for its vast oil reserve. It in fact contributes to 40% of Nigeria's oil industry. That is Nigeria's oil and gas industry. So for a state that contributes to 40% of Nigeria's oil and gas industry, what do you think is going to be the economic implication of course, suspending its democratically elected governor on the basis of the fact that from the side of Mr. President that the suspension was inspired by the allowance of attack of oil pipelines by the state governor, and of course his failure to his failure to rehabilitate the State House of Assembly after demolishing it. These are the most important points that Mr. President made, which led to his suspension of the democratically elected governor. What can you say about this development?
Thank you very much for asking me this question. Actually, it is true that since Tuesday, when Mr. President announced the suspension of governor, his deputy, and members of State House Assembly, our social and traditional media space has been inundated with deluge of commentary.
Exactly.
Some for, some against the decision. But my concern is that most of these commentaries have not been able to look at the economic implications
of the matter.
decision.
Exactly.
The focus has been on the constitutionality or otherwise of the decision.
Exactly.
This decision has far-reaching economic consequences, because as you said in your background, Rivers State is oil and gas hub of Nigeria.
Exactly.
It is one of the oil producing states.
And
besides being oil producing state, one thing that I want everybody to understand is that Rivers State is the largest concentration of oil infrastructure facilities in Nigeria.
Wow.
Which means if Rivers State is not stable, our oil and gas industry as a whole is not going to be stable, and it is the sector of our economy that contributes more than 80% of government's revenue.
Exactly.
So when Mr. President made his broadcast, he said the decision to suspend the governor, deputy, and members of Assembly was born out of the fact that there had been incident of vandalization of pipelines.
Exactly.
And the governor could not do anything to stop that.
Yeah.
So he took that decision in order to bring to an end that vandalizations or that economic sabotage, because he knows that it is going to destabilize the oil industry. And Nigeria being oil-dependent economy, if our oil and gas industry is not stable, the entire economy is not going to be stable.
Exactly. I am happy that you have touched considerably the economic implication of the decision. I'm quite interested with the fact that many people have called this House of Assembly, National House of Assembly, as a house that has been filled with people who only listen to what the president says, do what he says, without actually considering the public interest of the masses of the people, the very people who have voted them into those positions. Now, do you consider both the Speaker of the House of Representatives and the Senate President as overstamps?
Thank you very much.
This is a question that
has been asked over and over again in both social and traditional media, whether the Senate President or the Speaker should be blamed. personally, I believe they should not be blamed. We should blame ourselves as a whole,
That's
because
interesting.
the Senate President and Speaker cannot unilaterally and single-handedly take such momentous decisions. Before taking the decision, they must have consulted with the other members,
Definitely.
and all the members actually consented.
Exactly.
So for us to be accusing the leadership of the National Assembly as Yoruba stamp, I think we are not doing justice to them, because all the decisions they take are usually ratified by the members of the National Assembly. And all of us in Nigeria have representatives in the National Assembly.
Exactly.
We have members representing us in the Federal House of Representatives. We have members representing us in the Senate. And all of them are there when the decision was taken. For example, take Kaduna as a case study.
Yeah.
We have 3 senators, all of them from opposition party.
Yes.
We have 9 members of the National Federal House of Representatives. All of them
Yes.
are from PDP, opposition party, some from Labour Party. Now, when such decision was taken, their voice was not heard. So why should we be blaming the Speaker and the Senate President? If all senators and all members of House had actually spoken against it, it would have been difficult, if not impossible, for such decisions.
But don't you think that it was out of fear of being suspended from the House? That is why some of the members have kept mum?
Yeah, of course, that they kept mum is the reason why we should blame them, because we didn't send them there to keep mum. We sent them there to represent us. So I don't believe that they are afraid of being suspended should be a reason why they should not speak
In
the face of
response to
injustice.
Mr. President's statement that Kubwa had allowed the attack of pipelines in River State to continue without him as in charge of the state stopping those attackers, Kubwa had responded by saying it was not him who had allowed that vandalization to continue. It was linked to a statement that was made by Wiki, where he characterized some members of the community as a minority. And those people that were characterized as minority in the community were the very ones who were being suspected of attacking those
Pipelines.
oil facilities or oil installations. Now, what can you say about this? Can we learn something from this? Can we, what can you say about Mr. President's, negligence as far as Wiki is concerned?
You see, Fubara was the governor, let me say, once because he had been suspended. And he was chief security officer of the state. The president had every reason to blame him if there had been vandalizations of oil infrastructure and without any step having been taken. And to link the vandalization to a statement made by Wiki, it was highly disingenuous. As a governor of the state,